Good morning. Welcome to a hump day edition of Breakfast Scone. As always, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Appreciate the comments below. Appreciate the likes and the shares and all the ways that you're helping to spread the word. And please, please, please subscribe to this channel and let everybody know that Scone is doing a morning show called Morning Scone. Not really a show, just a little 10-minute vignette here. A few topics and headlines while you drink your morning coffee before you get in the car on the way to work. So a trio of topics I want to get to over the next 10 minutes or so. Number one, LSU baseball, they exorcised some midweek demons. They beat Nicholls last night 10-1. Raise your hand if you watched the entire game, including sitting through the 43-minute weather delay. That's why I'm here for you. So a few things we were looking for yesterday. One, most obviously, was AJ Labus, who's trying to continue to establish himself as a fourth starter. As we've said so many times, you get into the SEC tournament, you come out of the losers bracket in regionals, or you advance in Omaha, you're going to need a fourth starter. So Labus just continues pitching really well. He went 5 innings yesterday. Now, his day obviously ended because of the weather delay, but he worked around 5 hits and 1 walk to allow just 1 run, only 2 strikeouts. His ERA is 2.73. He just continues to be really steady. And if out of a fourth starter, he gets you into the 5th inning or through 5 innings, allowing only 1 run, you're going to be able to win a lot of games because not many people have that consistency. The bullpen continues to be the story, though, for LSU, as Beck, Ted Peterson, Cam Sanders, and Austin Bain were flawless. They worked 4 innings of shutout ball, allowed just 2 hits, and struck out 7 over the final 4 innings. Matthew Beck is a legit stopper. Ted Peterson came in and he allowed a leadoff single on a heater that he just left up the middle. Guy just put a good swing on it, got it right back up the middle, and then after that came back with 2 strikeouts and got out of the inning and was throwing 94, 95 again. He has found his role. Ted Peterson has absolutely found his role on this team. If he's a setup guy, if he's a stopper, like come in, throw 94, 95, wicked slider, just throw your absolute best pitches for an inning and just go be oppressive, and he's really good there. How about Cam Sanders? Maybe this is some AFR mojo we gave him. His dad, Scott Sanders, called into the show. Cam gets in to pitch the 8th, and he was flawless. Faced the minimum, struck out 2. Everything worked for him. So that we've talked about Sanders in the same way we talked about Ted Peterson, which is guys got too much talent not to have a role. Too much talent not to have a role on this team. And hopefully last night was a step in the right direction for Cam Sanders because he was really good for that 8th inning. And then Austin Bain came in. I faced the minimum in the 9th, struck out 2. Bain still worries me as a closer, just full disclosure. You can go chuck 91 mile an hour cheese against Nicholls and probably get away with it. You can't do that this weekend in College Station. So, or we'll see if he can. But the pitching staff last night was just awesome for LSU to allow just 7 hits and the 1 run. So it was really good to see. The other thing that was fantastic was, and we talked about this on the show, was Hunter Fiducia. And he was really good behind the plate. But he started swinging the bat as well. And the thing about Fiducia is, if you're going to have some missteps behind the plate, and I don't think anyone expects him to be Mike Papierski, but if you're going to have missteps behind the plate, then you've got to bring it offensively. And he was early in the year. He was batting 400 earlier in the year. And then he had dipped, and he's now below 300. He was in the 260 range. Well, last night, Fiducia went 2 for 3 with 2 walks, with 2 RBI. 2 for 3 with 2 RBI. And hit the 1 out he recorded was about 3 feet from being a grand slam. He smoked a ball that the kid just caught up against the wall in right field. So Fiducia really swung the bat well last night against Nicholls, which was great to see. And Bain just keeps delivering. Bain was 2 for 4, 2 runs scored, 2 RBI, and a walk. It's unconventional, but he hit one in the gap. He went the other way and slapped a single through the right side of the infield. He just keeps hitting the ball, and as long as it's not even really worth having that conversation anymore. As long as he's hitting the ball the way he is and producing, he deserves to be in the lineup. But it's so odd to see. We had Josh Smith on AFR earlier this week, and he said everybody on the team makes fun of him because of his swing. He steps in the bucket. You wouldn't see it on Tommy Mansky's hitting video, but he keeps getting results. Daniel Cabrera got another hit last night, and also walked twice. His plate discipline is so impressive for a freshman. I mean, to go for one for two, but to not be impatient and to sit there and take your walks when they come is really, really impressive. And then Duplantis had a 3 for 5 night last night with a couple of RBI as well. So the lineup got going. Yeah, I mean, when you put up 10 runs on 15 hits, there was a beautiful 2-out rally. Jake Slaughter, who we've talked about a bunch, he was only 1 for 5 last night. And you can look at the 1 for 5, and it doesn't look impressive. But he smoked a couple of balls that were just tough luck outs. So he's seeing the ball well. And for Jake, I really think that the key is check the strikeout column. If he's keeping the strikeout numbers down, he's putting the ball in play, obviously you're going to see that batting average continue to climb. So it's good to see him feel like or look like he's in a groove, even if he had some tough luck outs last night. But the RBI single he had was a good swing. So LSU goes on the road this weekend for Texas A&M. No doubt we'll preview that series when we get into Friday. But it's a great opportunity for LSU, which, they're at 5-4 in the conference right now through 3 weekends, and A&M is fighting it. They're 3-6 overall, and this is really a sort of a separation weekend where LSU can flex its muscle and maybe put LSU or put A&M further into the cellar, or this is A&M's chance for a bounce back at home in a series where LSU's coming looking for a chance potentially to take over first in the West after this weekend. So pretty big weekend for LSU, and excited. So last night was a feel-good way to head into the weekend. Pels are back on the floor tonight. They play the Grizzlies, and the Grizzlies are a terrible basketball team. They're 21-56. The next 2 games for New Orleans, they absolutely have no business losing. They play the Grizzlies, and then they are at Phoenix, 2 of the worst teams in the NBA. The Pels are actually favored to, this doesn't happen often in the NBA, but the Pels are favored by 13 tonight. When you're talking about pros, you don't typically see double-digit point spreads, but the Pels are favored by 13 against a very bad Memphis team. Win tonight, get your feel-good back. They have actually lost twice to the Grizzlies this year. So if there's one cause for concern, the first game they played of the season, the Grizz won 103-91. And then they won a close game in Memphis, 105-102. The game they played in New Orleans last month, the Pels won 111-104, and then tonight's game is in New Orleans as well. So the Pels lost both games in Memphis and won the game in the series in New Orleans. So regardless, I mean, you're talking about a team in Memphis that has mailed it in, that's playing for lottery positioning, and New Orleans is legit trying to fight for its playoff lives. If you can't beat Memphis on your home floor as a double-digit favorite while you're fighting for your playoff lives, then, I mean, the remaining 4 games after that aren't going to go well, and Gentry and Dem should probably start cleaning out their office. That said, I think they are going to win tonight. I think they're going to beat Phoenix as well. I think they actually have a great shot of going on the road and beating Golden State, without Steph Curry and having locked up the number 2 seed. Not much to play for, and you're going to play the Clippers on the road, who may very well be eliminated by the time you play them. Then you come home to play San Antonio, and you're probably going to have a lot on the line in that regular season finale. So I actually like the Pels over this final stretch here. And they play Memphis tonight. It's a game I think they will win. And last thing, I'm not sure if you saw it, it's one of the more unlikely characters to come out of LSU baseball to become a megastar showed up again last night on opening day for the Giants at their home park. And it's Brian Wilson. Sans the beard, but Brian Wilson, who, if I remember correctly, came to LSU from somewhere in the Northeast, like New Hampshire or Vermont or something like that. And when he came to LSU, he was clean shaven. You asked the guys that played with him, and he wasn't a normal guy, but he wasn't the character he became in San Francisco as the big beard, tattooed, ace closer who became an all-star. But last night they had Brian Wilson come and throw out or yesterday in San Francisco they had Brian Wilson throw out the first pitch. He came out He entered to jump around. He comes running in from the bullpen to jump around. He is in full uniform, wearing his number 38 jersey. He jogs in from the bullpen. He's got security with him. He goes to the mound, and no beard, but he goes full into the stretch, leaning in, looking for the pitch, and he chucked it to Buster Posey, which was cool to see. And it goes to show you the importance of brand building, because yes, Brian Wilson was a very good closer, and there's a lot of very good closers. But when you look at like nationally, for example, a guy like Kenley Jansen, who last year was just awesome for the Dodgers, he is awesome. And you go see the Shining Sea and ask baseball fans, or just any fan, casual fans, if they know who Kenley Jansen is and if they know who Brian Wilson is. And you say the guy with the big beard from the Giants, they go, oh yeah, I remember him. And it's so much that's creating a brand. And you know what? James Harden's done it too with his beard. And if you can find a way to have a creative look, Anthony Davis with the unibrow, if you can find that creative way to have an identifiable look and build a brand around it, man, your legacy can last. And you've seen that with Brian Wilson as he was back in San Francisco throwing out that first pitch. But it was cool to see. He actually played with Terrio. So maybe I'll ask Terrio about it Friday on the AFR. So hopefully you'll tune in for that. Again, Morning Scone, we appreciate your being here. Please subscribe to the page if you don't already do that, and help us with likes and comments and shares and all the good stuff so we can spread the word. And as always, I am so very open to all of your comments and suggestions how to make this better. I've implemented so many of them just as we've been here the first week of the show. So if you got suggestions, let me know. In the meantime, have a great hump day, and we'll see you this afternoon on the radio for AFR 3 to 6 Central on ESPN Baton Rouge, ESPN New Orleans, and CST. Y'all have a great day.